So progress is being made to gradually uncover the disaster that is the bathroom area. So once I tore out the surround for the bathtub, sucked in some insulation, that naturally segued into the little cubby room that the hot water heater sits in. Now, like most trailers, at some point a hot water heater failed and the tenant did not know this, so it leaked a lot of water and rotted out the floor. So this particular hot water heater was the only thing holding it up. It was leaning up against the wall. And yeah, so there's basically, this trailer's old, and what they did back in the day was they had a door on the outside of the building that you could open and then access the hot water heater to drain it or whatever out through the door. So I disconnected the plumbing and went outside and took a look at that door, and all it is a boogered up piece of plywood with about 50 Torx screws in it. It's not even a door. And I'm like, oh, hells no. It's 17 below today. I'm not standing out there taking all those screws out, trying to wrestle that door off the side of the house just to drain the hot water heater. So the hot water heater's not very big. It's like a 40-gallon fatty. So I disconnected the hot water heater and I just laid it over on its side into the area where the bathtub used to be. I have nothing here. No caps, no plugs, no nothing to prevent the water from coming out of the hot water heater, and that sumbitch weighs probably 250 pounds. So as a result, the water was glubbing out of the fittings. So I had to be creative. Look at this disaster. So there's the rotted floor. Instead of fixing the floor, they just shoved a 2x4 underneath the hot water heater to try to keep it up. Well, the weight of the water pushed the floor down through. I mean, literally pushed it through, and that 2x4 and the wall were all. You can see the indentation on the panel there from this. See that? The wall was holding up the water heater, just about to the point where it's just going to go whoomp right through the floor. So now I got a water heater laying on its side full of water and really no way to drain it. So what I'm going to do is, there just happened to be a garden hose hanging on the side of the house. It's frozen solid, of course. It'll take forever and a day to thaw it out. But I'm going to hook that garden hose up to the drain port on the water heater. Here's where the drain from the tub went into the main sewer. I'm going to fish that hose down into the sewer. I'm going to crack that open and let it drain. And then I should be able to wrestle it out of here, because then it won't weigh next to nothing. And just get it out of the way. And then I have to temporarily hook up the plumbing. Now, the park owner did me a solid, and he ran all new PEX tubing in here on the inside of the trailer. None of this stuff runs under the trailer, except for the drain system and the feed, the main feed coming in. So he did that, and that's a good thing. But he didn't neaterize anything. know what I mean? I like stuff neat. So I like 90-degree bends and nailed to the wall and lines all running perfect. And the beauty about PEX is that you can be lazy and you can just run it however you want. And you reduce a lot of elbows and whatnot. So that's what I'm dealing with here. I'm dealing with a bunch of just lines that crisscross and run everywhere with no rhyme or reason and no neatism to them. I don't like it. So remember, I am trying to make this thing more appealing down the road when somebody might want to buy it. So that being the case, I'm going to neaterize all that plumbing. I'm going to nip it all out of there. I don't have the tools to do PEX. That's pretty expensive stuff. So I'm going to nip it where I need to nip it and then use shark bite fittings to connect to it, and then probably run PVC pipe, because then I can glue my fittings and I can make nice neat corners and I can secure everything. But here's a different angle of this nightmare. Let me get a light on. So I found out where the heat tape is. I think the heat tape is plugged in right in that receptacle back there. Yeah. So this is what I'm dealing with. This is a shit show. So here's that door I was talking about. All of this insulation is going to be replaced. Look at this. See the daylight? Look at this bare wire here. If that's hot. Is that my tester? Yeah, I do. How's my tester? It's in the other room. It's crazy the stuff you find. It's not there. I must have put it in the kitchen. I have one of those chirp testers that you use. You hold it up against a wire and it chirps and lets you know if it's hot. There it is. Oh, look at that. Live wire, terminated with wire nuts. Oh well, it's along the lines of something I do myself, but so anyway, this is what I'm dealing with. Now, my objective is to not have that door there. Because how the hell are you going to get the hot water heater out past that drain system? Right? So all that is, look at the daylight. Look at the amount of cold air from a north wind that would just pour in there. So that's going to be rectified. All of this insulation is going to be replaced with rock wool. Yeah, we'll get this thing buttoned up good. But like I said, I'm tearing this out to the studs. This whole sink area is coming out. That's probably what I'll start on next. Yeah, and everything will get redone and redone the right way. So there's just a little update. Money pit.